Simpson. And Japan have gone absent without leave. This is Whitmore. Hall and Gale both available. It's still Whitmore. It is the Reggae Boys who take the lead.
BallChat.
Greetings, football lovers. Happy Football Sunday. Happy Sunday to the family. Welcome to BCN Sports BallChat Weekly. I am Benton. Junior is jumping on. He's coaching a game. Junior will join us in a few minutes. Actually, I see a number joining here in a second. So that's Junior coming in. Hopefully everyone is having a wonderful Sunday as we get ready to recap some of the week's major news in the world of football. It's Sunday show time. Time to recap the week that was in the world of football. Let's get Junior into the mix here as he'll jump on in a few minutes. Junior, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, man, I can hear you loud and clear. Are you still?
I feel like Phil Jackson when the Bulls were playing against the Jazz and Utah took the lead 3-2. I need a Michael Jordan to go to Utah with me, man.
Do you have a mic? You need a Michael Jordan to steal the game, Junior? To push down Russell?
I need a Michael Jordan steal of Karl Malone in the end, and then come down and push up a Robinson, and then put to the pull up for the game winner.
It's Robinson or Russell?
Russell, yeah.
Yeah, I just asked you if you need a Michael Jordan to steal a game and push off Russell.
Yes, that's what I need.
Oh, okay,
I need one of those. I need that dog.
But big up to the football family. Those of you who are unaware, Junior is a coach, is a basketball coach, former football coach, now basketball coach. And when I say former football coach, not NFL coach, but former soccer coach. Now he's a basketball coach. Playoff weekend, is it, Junior? Is it?
Yeah, playoff. That is a crazy playoff weekend.
Okay, and is that situation is either you win or go home? How is your team looking?
Well, my team is on their way home, sir. We are on our way home, and we just lost 27-4.
What?
Yeah, we lost 27-4. Hey, pick up my daughter later. My daughter, she just turned 10, and she's in the 4th grade, and she's playing against 6th graders. And I don't know, this little girl, you know what? These are the views that Junior and that BCN Sport. One little white girl pushed off my daughter, and my daughter got a top her down for the court. Just a good girl.
I wonder where she got those traits from.
Her mother, who is sitting right beside.
I guess Junior will be sleeping on the couch tonight. And you know when a team get beaten up like that, 20-4, I think the coach should go see management, Junior.
Yeah, I'm going to take that long walk up the steps without the management.
Yeah, man, but hopefully the youngsters had fun. All right, let's get to the week that was in the world of football, family. And sorry about the defeat, but we know you'll come back strong next season as you go into the lab and prepare something for that team that defeated you guys.
Yep, next week. Yeah.
Yes. Big up to the family, and hopefully the family is doing well. Tell the young princess I said hang in there, and say go. We have to take with licks.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to. By the way, big up to the family. Hopefully everyone is having a wonderful Sunday. Hopefully you're having a wonderful Sunday. Make sure to smash the like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's get to it. Football roundup. Touch some of the week's major news in the world of football. Junior, we're kicking it off with FA Cup final. Final is set. Man City versus Chelsea, May 16th is the game. Junior, we're going to look at the semi-finals in a bit, but it's not a surprise these two teams are in the final.
I wouldn't say not a surprise, because look at Leeds and what Leeds have been doing recently, and Chelsea is in a disarray. I actually thought Leeds could have surprised Chelsea today. I actually thought. No, it didn't pan out that way. But if you look at the totality of the FA Cup, it's the two teams that should play the finals based on the way the draws played out are the two teams that are playing.
Yeah, big up BM. BM says, greetings, ball chat. Big up BM. Hopefully, you're having a wonderful Sunday. BM said, junior team drop out already? I thought Junior was big coach, not a PE coach. LOL. Junior is getting fired in the morning, is the song he's singing. Yo, yeah, I'm going to upgrade to a PE teacher, Bridget. But the song they're singing. Junior, back to the game itself, or the games itself, the semi-final games. I thought coming in the game, into to the round. These two teams, Southampton and Leeds. Southampton and Leeds. They overachieved to make it this far. Leeds itself. Let's get to the Leeds versus Chelsea game. Game ended 1-0, played out today. Junior, they could play 2 hours. In fact, they could play 5 days and Leeds would not score. That's how piss poor Leeds were in this football game. Aronson had one shot that Sanchez saved. They had a kick save. But other than that, it was actually the championship team, Southampton, was a bit more competitive yesterday than the Premier League team, the 2 Premier League teams today in the other FA Cup semi-final.
So, question: Do you think that is a testament of Leeds not being prepared, or do you think that is more of Chelsea? I don't want new manager balls is too easy about term, but you don't think Chelsea has something to do with the way how Leeds look today?
All right. I can't ignore new manager bounce. It's probably too small. You said it's probably too low hanging fruit or too easy explanation. But there's something to it. I think a new manager, and McFarlane has managed this group before, rolled in and made some adjustments. He brought Enzo back in. Of course, Enzo did play, but it was a different Enzo. He actually took off some of the breaks in terms of allowing this team to exploit down the wings a little bit more. He benched Cole Palmer, which I called it bench at the end of the day. That tells me that he's saying that, look, we don't necessarily need you at the beginning of the game to dictate or have an influence over what might the outcome of the game. And he went with the hot hand, which was Pedro Neto, draw Pedro down the middle. Garnacho out wide was useless as usual. But the key to Chelsea, as always, whether it's Enzo Maresca, whether it's Liam Rossignol, which he didn't display in his brief tenure, the key to Chelsea's success is that midfield. Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo, and Romeo Lavia, when he's healthy, is a key to that Chelsea's drink. And he unleashed that midfield today. I thought Moises Caicedo was excellent in that midfield, and Enzo Fernandez ended up scoring the goal.
Yeah, and so it's almost like dumbed down football tactics, right? And you know what? Thinking about it now, and this don't only apply to Chelsea. It applies to Man U. It applies to all the teams that flip coaches or change coaches in the middle of the season. Is there something towards a new coach coming in, and instead of reinventing the wheel, make it as simple as possible and put the footballers in a position where it is less thinking, more playing? And could that be what we call new manager balls?
It could be because at the end of the day, when you've been with a team for a while, sometimes, and again, Liam Rossignol is an outlier here. He was 106 days, but in the grand scheme of things, in this landscape, football now, 106 days seems like a long time. But when a new manager goes into a club, he or she basically is looking to say, all right, how can I get the ball to my most impactful players? And over time, you cannot lose that formula. You cannot lose that script. Now, Liam Rossinia's tenure at Chelsea may say that he didn't have some of his impactful players because of injuries. But be that as it may, I saw, and of course they did have a falling out with Enzo Fernandez for comments he made, prior to a game in the Premier League. But you saw a player in Enzo Fernandez, and we saw this with Enzo Maresca's Chelsea, running from the midfield deep and trying to be on the receiving end of those crosses, and that's what ended up being the goal today. So I didn't really saw that with Liam Rossinia's tenure, but it was something that Enzo Maresca did, and it's something that Colin McFarlane says we're going to go back to. Moises Caicedo, you stabilize the base of this midfield along with Romeo Lavia. Enzo, you supply the ball, but else you need to be that third line of attack or that second line of attack on that final cross, because Joao Pedro is going to get muscled out or get locked down. But you should be that extra bit of Arsenal. And he scored a couple goals running in from deep. And just a final point to say on that matter is it's not something that's unique to Chelsea or Colin McFarlane or Enzo Maresca. We've seen it with Pep, with Nick O'Reilly running in from midfield, scoring goals and headers. We saw it with Ilkay Gundogan a few years ago at Man City, scoring double-digit goals coming from midfield. So what I'm saying is that Chelsea has a player in Enzo Fernandez who has that ability and has been now unleashed at least for one game to do that, and he did it today.
Yeah, I agree, and I think you're and to add more to it, coaches just put square pegs in square holes. Rossinia, I don't think Rossinia's tenure, it wasn't under the microscope as much as my boy there.
Maresca.
Ruben. Ruben.
Oh, Ruben. Okay, Ruben. Okay.
Remember Ruben's tenure. It was all about that back three. Ruben said he's bullish with it. He's going to stick with the back three, right?
Yes.
But he wasn't under the microscope, but he changed Chelsea's play so much over that period of time that cost him his job.
Yeah.
And it's very similar. So there's something to these coaches. I don't want disrespect Rossinia and call him a small coach. I don't want disrespect Amorim and call him a small mentality coach. But there's something to you coming from a small team and feeling the need to prove to everybody that you can coach without speed, right? So there's something to that. I know, sit down and think about it. There's something to that. You come into an environment that is a little bit too big for you, and you feel the need to overcoach.
Yeah, and at the top of it, one thing you have to do is win football games by any means necessary. Yeah. And the bottom line is that you could be Igor Tudor at Tottenham, you could be Liam Rossinia, you could be Ruben Amorim. It doesn't matter where you are as a manager, you need to win football games.
Yes, and the thing that is going to go unnoticed to them.
Yeah.
Look at what Nottingham Forest is doing with their new coach.
Yeah, Victor Pereira. Yeah. All right, so Chelsea's into the. Yeah, go ahead. Finish that point, Junior. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, so Chelsea's into the FA Cup final. May 16th final, 1-0 victory. Enzo Fernandez with the goal. Congrats to the Blues. This is their 17th FA Cup final in the club's history. I want to say, 10 straight? Not 10 straight. 6 in the last 10 years or something like that. Now to Man City. 4th straight for Man City. In terms of FA Cup final. Pep Guardiola, Man City, and Southampton. Chacha, you had one job, brethren. One BBC job. Two jobs. You need to get back to the Premier League. But Southampton ended up losing this game 2-1 to Man City, Junior.
think, yeah. I mean, look, Man City, I think they just can't wait till the season to finish. It just feels to me like they're just on their way to a screeching halt. What I mean by that is they make it look so hard. I don't think you get that vibe from them, but they make football look so hard. The system looks easy. The coach looks like a genius, so he is a genius. But then the players, the players that look like they belong for the shot bus sometimes. I'm watching the game, I'm like, yo, how is this so hard to execute? Like, how is it so hard? Doku, what is going on in Doku's head sometimes?
Yeah. But he put on Doku later. Eventually Man City won that game, but I don't think Pep Guardiola is by any stretch comfortable with the victory.
Hell no.
They're happy that they're in the final, of course, but his second string team, so to speak, did not really pull up any trees in that game. I mean, he started Phil Foden, Tijani Reinders, Ryan Cherokee, Omar Marmoush, and that set of attack was toothless that he had to tell the Viking, get on the field, tell Jeremy Doku, get on the field and have a chase at these players. And and it took a golazo from Nico Gonzalez late in the game, a proper rotted goal in the 87th minute to seal it up. And coincidentally, Southampton should have equalized a few minutes from that, or maybe like a few seconds from that. So I think Pep is happy about achieving another final, but I think there's some alarm bells there that he saw with his backup players, because in a title race you're only as good, I think, as your bench that you can rely on.
Right. A ball of the week to Nico. Ball of the week to Nico.
Yeah. And you keep circling. You have said this over and over about Phil Foden. Phil Foden just looks like a shadow of himself on the field. Former self.
Yeah. Yeah. Boy, I tell you, boy. You know what? You see what is big in pop culture news this week, in American pop culture news, especially the black pop culture news. This is a Clay Thompson cheat on Megan Thee Stallion, right?
Yeah, the big rapper. The big small rapper.
Yeah,
big up the stallion. The one and only Megan herself.
Yeah, free Tory lane. But the thing is this, Benton. We need to tell Phil Ford to go back road, man.
So how did this link with Megan?
Ever since Phil Ford is married.
Those are the views of Junior Pringle and not BCN Sports.
Am I lying though? Be honest.
As Curtly Ambrose said on a recent showdown in Barbados, when asked about captaincy of the West Indies team, he said, yo, you're not going to have me like what the Jamaicans them say, you're not going to draw me out.
So you're admitting that I'm telling the truth then?
Junior, you're not going to draw me out. Those are the views of Junior and not BCN Sports.
You know what? Phil Ford, listen to me, Phil Ford. Stop being on the player side, right? When with the next Brazil Carnival, go on with my carnival.
Yeah, but Savinio not play no ball either.
Exactly. So it was time. Go on with my carnival.
But
on a serious note though.
Yeah.
Phil Ford's career has ever since I'm joking about the marriage thing, maybe. But the real thing with the football is ever since Kevin De Bruyne, Gundogan and company left, Phil Ford look a shadow of himself. and it speaks to how great those players were. I remember Phil Ford at one time was regarded as like a starlet, like a youth. There was a moment in time, and I'm talking before Phil Ford and them bland him here. I think after him bland him here, the hype kind of went away. But there was a moment in time, I would say that Phil Ford was being looked at like how them look at Lamine Yamal early. I'm not talking now, but early. Phil
Yeah,
Ford
man.
was
Yeah,
regarded
he
as a
did win
golden boy.
PFA Player of the Year, Youth Player of the Year. Actually, I want to say
Yeah.
2 seasons in a row, if I'm not mistaken.
And where has that player ever since him blood him here? Him just different.
Yeah, man.
There's either the marriage, the blending of the year, or Kevin De Bruyne and them leaving. Take a pick.
I might be all of the above. Big up to those on the live.
All of them.
Or smash the like button, family. Subscribe to the channel. Junior, but on someone who's married and want to make for positive, put marriage in a positive light here, and we're all married folks here. Usman Dembele is a married man whose marriage has changed his trajectory in the world of football. He went from
1,000,000%.
prior to marriage, he went from being late all the time at Football Club Barcelona to now being married, being Ballon d'Or winner. So you see, you just need a good woman in your life. Maybe Phil Foden need to go figure out that. If that's the cause. But I'm going to tell a man what to do about him things, but you just need a good woman in your life.
Yeah, you need a good one in there, brother.
You know, so
But that's sometimes they just stop.
you know. But Man City 2-1 victors over Southampton. Well done, Southampton. I think Southampton right now has to focus. Of course, this FA Cup thing is extra gravy. It's almost like a cherry on top. I think for Southampton, they've made some money from this FA Cup run. And the biggest thing for them is to get back to the English Premier League. They're sitting in what? 5th position currently in the championship. So, chance for a playoff spot. Try to get back to Wembley via that championship playoff and then get back to the Premier League because ultimately that's where the Saints belong. I'm done talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I hope this time get back here.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll look at the Premier League in a second. Let's see how Southampton goes about it. Watching them closely. They do have some young players them I work with. All right, now to other football news. We'll do a watch along for the FA Cup final on May 16th again. May 16th is the FA Cup final. Man City versus Chelsea should be a good one. Let's step over to the English Premier League. Few games in the English Premier League this weekend. Junior, most notably was Arsenal, an opportunity to regain top spot or retake top spot in the EPL table. They did with a 1-0 victory over Newcastle family.
Did you just say retake top spot?
Yeah, they took the lead again in the Premier League by of course having played one extra game, but they did take the lead again.
Right. Yeah. Look, I'm about to go up on camera. I'm load up. But
do you have a problem with that statement?
Yeah.
Is that a misrepresentation of the facts?
It's not a misrepresentation of the facts, but it's an over-exaggeration of the facts. Because I would word it that Arsenal survived a game again. And the reason why I'm going to say that is this. We all know right now this title race coming down to goal difference, more likely, right?
I don't know what is going to come down to be honest with you.
But that's true, but more likely. We're checking to what?
Yeah, it's a possibility, but I really don't know, yeah.
So the approach to the game needs to be better. And Arsenal, you would think they learned. And they still come out pragmatic. They still come out scared. I don't know. I don't know what to expect from them now. So both teams, it's like they're racing to see who will finish second. That's what the cycle race is. It's a race to last. But
What
big
do you
them up
mean
still.
race
Them
to
still, them
last?
still
What?
good.
All right. What would be your ideal scenario situation for running?
For me, I want to sit down and watch an Arsenal game or a Man City game versus a team that is not going anywhere in Newcastle or whoever Man City play. And I want to, at the end of the game, I would say that team came out because looking to win the title. I don't get that vibe from Arsenal. I really don't get that vibe from Arsenal. But I don't know if I explain myself properly or if you understand what I'm saying. But I don't get the vibe. I don't get the sense of urgency from them. I don't get the sense of fight from them.
All right. I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I expressed some of this, some of the similar sentiments on during the watch along yesterday that I expected a little bit more from our Arsenal team. But after doing a bit of reflection, you know what? You haven't won a title in 20 something years.
Yeah.
And these players with the human element of it, it's almost like me. I try to run with a very precious commodity, and if I drop it, it mash up. I have one of those golden vase from Ming Dynasty that values a huge amount, and I'm running with it. And I know that one slip, I drop this thing smashes on the ground. And so there is this extra care to protect this particular product. And I think the same thing I see with Arsenal yesterday against Newcastle. They take a lead, and then there's this extra care to try to protect this lead. Because ultimately, winning is the paramount thing for them. Of course, you want to win by as many goals as you possibly can, but I think heading into yesterday's game, it was the first objective: win the game by any means necessary. This was on the back of Bournemouth and defeats to Bournemouth and Man City. And they knew that if they drew that game, or they lose that game yesterday against a duppy bot, aka Bugside, in Newcastle, they could have just given up on the Premier League title. And I saw a group of players who suffered through that game yesterday. And at the conclusion of the game, as in the Arsenal players, at the conclusion of the game, a few of them fell to the ground in almost like relief. And I thought, whoa, this title running is taking a lot out of this group emotionally.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree 100%. But then you know what? At the end of the day, I think I know I'm going to contradict myself. But at the end of the day, when this title race is over, we're going to look back and say, I'm telling you now, I'm going to say this. You know what? This team earned the title this year. I think we're going to end up saying that.
Yeah, whosoever get it, I gonna earn it. Except the people who hate Arsenal, if Arsenal win it, the people who hate Arsenal are gonna say, yo, look how fast them just tumble and get the trophy. That's not a real trophy.
Yeah.
So,
let me log in by camera.
yeah, but right, Keen, big up to those on the line. Smash the like button, family. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you for joining BCN Sports Watch Along. BCN Sports BallChat Weekly. Sunday show where we recap the week that was in the world of football. I am Benton. Junior is on the phone. He's gonna be jumping on camera here in a few minutes. So once he jumps in on join the camera on camera, we'll see what the coach have to say. Continue regarding this Arsenal game. Not finish the in-depth discussion on this particular game. I don't know if Junior is still there, but he's logging in. Rai Keane said something during I think it was Sky Sports. Um, Sky Sports EPL roundup. Roy Keane said something, and I thought that statement that Roy Keane said was quite powerful. You know, it was a discussion I think with no, this was on the Overlap. I forget my facts straight. This is on the Overlap, the platform that's owned by Gary Neville that
Yeah.
recently bought United Stand, right?
And that's football. So he bought out all of Goldbridge's
Yeah,
YouTube
bought out
channels.
Goldbridge. Yo, I guess when you have money, yo, hey, Overlap, come talk to me, you know.
Hey, and we'll talk about that because there's an angle, not for overlap, but there's an angle. Yeah, we'll talk.
All right, so but on this particular show, they were Ian Wright, former Arsenal great, Ian Wright, Arsenal great Ian Wright said, former Arsenal player said that he has no confidence in what he's seen from this group. He has no confidence in that they're gonna win the title. There's this sheer level of just scared, frustration. He doesn't know what Arsenal is going to show up on a given day. And he says, when someone asks him, does he think that they're going to win the Premier League title? He says, after what they've been through the last couple of seasons, he says, after what he has been through the last couple of seasons, I cannot necessarily, in my good conscience and confidence, say that, yes, he also then pointed out moments in the games that he has seen where it's just he doesn't know what to expect from the team. But then Roy Keane said something, and I thought this was profound. Roy Keane, probably maybe I pull his leg and try to kind of clone him a bit, say, boy, yo, not go win, not go win. But Roy Keane reminded Ian Wright, say, yo, that's part of trying to win a trophy. That the running is, you look back on it years now, but you know how it is when you are winning a trophy. The grind, the nerves, it's not easy. And so he says, Roy Keane, that is, that, we will see if this team can handle the pressure. Do they have the temerity, the ability to navigate this difficult stretch? Because and I think that is something that context is important for me. It's important to listen to those who have walked through that road. Because I sit up and watch along and say, yo, Arsenal, idiot side, when I do, move up. But then I was like, yo, it's hard. It's hard winning a trophy.
So I think you are caught in two minds. I think you is looking at it from an observer, but because you've played the game, you also are now looking at it and approaching it as a player, right? Now, the issue with you approaching it as a player and doing that dissecting of how the mindset is and saying this is why it is hard is because you're not a part of the locker room. And Ian Wright, I think Ian Wright is kind of whispering in his rhetoric because he knows what's going on in the Arsenal locker room. And I think he's kind of letting it out a little bit out the bag that the locker room is not that tight. Because he and Roy Keane, like with those shows, many of those shows over the last, so I do it for like 7 years now. It's a while. Right? And we have pre-production, what people call pre-production show that we have conversations off air, and then sometimes we run jokes. Not jokes, but sometimes we say things during the show that is hinting towards the off-air conversation without bringing it on air and blah blah blah, right? And I think there are times that Ian Wright and Roy Keane do the same thing. And I think Ian Wright is signaling to the public that the locker room is not ready for a championship. That was a key conversation, but they had another conversation, I think last week or the week before. Probably it's that same conversation that cut the snippet out of, where Roy Keane was asking Ian Wright, like, yo, when will the players then get up and say, you know what? Forget what the coach said. Me go score the goal. Like Ian Wright said, well, if it was me, because Roy Keane Ian Wright trying to say, no, he's a modern player. And Roy Keane said, no. If it was you, Ian Wright, what would you? Ian Wright said, no, if it was me, I'm going to score. I'm going to score. So Roy Keane said, thank you. What about the new players? What's so different with these players? And Ian Wright was constantly protecting them. And that tells me that he knows the fragility of the mindset of that locker room versus Roy Keane, who is not a part of that locker room, is approaching it like you as a player now and saying, yo, if I play for this team without losing the title, because that is Roy Keane's mentality. And I think there's a part of that going on. The irony is we have no idea what's going on in City's locker room. Now, we sat down and watched Pep Guardiola mark up himself and would joke about it and where these marks are coming from. We don't see the marks anymore. But he's still reacting in a way like Jesus Christ. So we have no idea what's going on in that locker room as well. So it's like the two locker rooms, that's why I said they're racing to the end. They're racing to see who's going to crash first.
Yeah, yeah. Arsenal won over Newcastle, 1-0 over Newcastle. Before we look at Newcastle yesterday and what's going on with Newcastle. By the way, if you have ballers and bugs, send them on. Send them on. Mikel Arteta had some things to say at the conclusion of the game, Junior. Mikel Arteta said, he felt like there should have been a red card to Nick Pope. He said that he then expanded on that point and said, wait, not only should Nick Pope have gotten a red card, there's been a recent bias against Arsenal by the referees. He says the previous game against Man City, Kosanov should have gotten a red card for bringing down Kai Havertz. So he's saying like the big calls are not going Arsenal way. Junior, how did no? So he's talking about this game, and then he's reliving an event in the Man City game. Take me into the mindset of Mikel Arteta, because first and foremost, I don't think it was a red card, but we can talk about regarding the Nick Pope one. But what's going on with Mikel Arteta?
No, the irony is you called it. The irony is you said it last week. You said it last week, said they can't play Man City twice. You said it last week. And I joked and said, I don't think they will play Man City twice because I think Arsenal is still playing Bournemouth for the Man City game. We had that little joke conversation last week.
Yeah.
And Arteta come out and prove to us right that he is still playing those past games. So it's almost feel to me like Arteta is already making an excuse for why Man City will win the title. Arteta is already drawing out and saying, that's the 1 point loss. That's the 1 point to them get. That's the this, that's the that. It's already... Credit to Pep Guardiola. Pep constantly looking forward. Pep constantly saying, yo, next game is a final, we have to win the next game. He doesn't care about what happened yesterday or last week. Publicly, he doesn't care. Arteta is more worried about yesterday. All right. Arteta, you have the microphones in your face. I am Arteta. The microphones are in my face. This is my one opportunity. You asked me about the game. No, I'm happy we won the game. If I was Arteta, I'm happy we won the game. You know what? Pressure back on Man City. Let's see if they have the kahunas. Let's see if they can keep up with us. Simple. Simple. Instead of giving your own team now, that example. I have my team, my basketball team. They're young girls, 10, 11-year-olds, right? 5th, 6th. We have some 7th graders. But my daughter is a 4th grader. And at this level, but I told Joanna earlier, this is the age group when kids determine what sport they want to play, if at all, right? This is when you determine, because you're going to be on the court or on the field playing against people with different wide range of abilities. You're going to play against some pitney who can't play. You're going to play some pitney who are ready for go college, right? And you have to decide at that moment how you are going to approach the game. But as coaches, as developers, one thing we cannot allow is for the kid to fall into their own minds. When you're competing, your mind have to be fired off at full 100% tilt. I'm in competition mode. I don't think Arteta is in that mode. I really don't think Arteta is in competition mode. This, what are you feeling? Fire, fire. Arteta, that was BS. Because where's that fire now? Where is that fire now when you need it the most? You need the fire now. But I'm still vexed about the red card last week. Shut up. Get ready for next week, brother. Yo, you hear me? We don't take care of business in the English Premier League. Cholo, Atletico Madrid. Who don't deserve to play in the semi-finals? We're ready for Champions League. That should be the mindset. What we worried about red card from? Come on, man. Disappointed, man.
And just highlight the rules regarding denying of an obvious goal scoring opportunity. What the law says, there's 4 requirements that involves denying of an obvious goal scoring opportunity for a player to get a red card. 1, distance between the offense and the goal. The distance between the offense and the goal. General direction of play. Likelihood of keeping or gaining control, and location and number of defenders. Nick Pope took out Gyökeres yesterday. Malik Thiaw, there was a defender, Malik Thiaw of Newcastle, was running back behind Nick Pope. The ball was heading over towards the corner flag. So, all right. So, yes, Mikel Arteta forget. So, they didn't check all these boxes. Yeah. Yeah. It's just, So, but more than, and then, of course, the problem I have is that it brings the game into, I don't want to use the word, but it almost implies that there are things or systems against a particular club, or particular people, or particular events. It's just like, I equate the same thing that led up to the Afghan fiasco. Because leading up to the Afghan fiasco, there were a lot of comments from players and football president association, Samuel Eto'o. There were players saying how Morocco were getting favorable call, Morocco were doing this, Morocco doing that. All these things then culminated to the foolishness that happened in the final. Because there was Senegal saying, okay, Morocco has had the fixing, when there's no evidence to support this position. But every man now say, why? Because me no get a call, somebody else have a fixing. And Mikel Arteta is employing the same tactics. When you're not entitled to win a ball game, you're not entitled to get a red card given to the other player. Shut the... You know what? Let me not say it. Junior already said. It baffles my mind. Like a manager come out and I say these things after a game. Yo, them have it in, these crucial moments are against us. Last week, when a man did forget a red card and them not get it. This week, same thing again. I'm like, brother, come on, man. And big up to BallChat BCN Sports referee. Come on. Big up yourself because you're at the road a referee right now. We have to remember, it doesn't matter how high the level it gets. It doesn't matter if it's a big league, a multi-billion-dollar business as in the English Premier League. Referees are still humans. They still going to make some mistakes. So those are the rules of 100%. Engagement, Bridget.
100%.
Now, on from one side over to the next idiot side. Because Newcastle, Junior, what is going on with Newcastle? Quickly. That was spending 14th in the Premier League. Johan Wissa looked like a bug. And he did look like a bug against the Reggae Boys though. Elanga looked like a bug. Looks like a bug. Eddie Howe just keep making up his face like he wants to go to the bathroom rather than solving the problems.
Newcastle started. Remember, Newcastle's plan early was to buy their way into stardom or into the upper echelon of football, and somewhere along the way, the money dried up.
Yeah,
And
PIF, the Saudi fund, is pulling
yeah,
back.
they pulled back because
They're
they
pulling
weren't
back.
getting a return on their money. And then that Ilanga transfer. I mean, if you know, Elanga should wake up every day and shake Valdamida hand, however I want him.
Yeah, Nick Valdemir, the German Messi.
German Messi, because if he didn't exist, Ilanga would be branded as one of the worst transfers in the history of football, Kaki. They just made some terrible transfer decisions and they haven't recovered from it. Simple.
BMC Arteta turned Cabletown about fire. The only fire Arteta will get is during the summer. Ball of the week for BM Barcelona winning despite missing Lamine Yamal. Bug of the week, Man City leaders. We should run over La Liga. Sure, run fast. All right, Junior, quickly. Premier League relegation battle. Tottenham 1, West Ham 1, Nottingham Forest 1. Of course, Burnley and Wolves already relegated. Talk to it.
It is a two-horse race. I've been saying it for the last couple of weeks. It's now Tottenham versus West Ham.
Yeah,
And
West Ham.
unfortunately, it kind of feel like West Ham might get. It just feel that way. It just feel that way to me that something catastrophic is going to happen for the Hammers and West Ham going to get relegated. I just feel that vibe. But
This 5-0 Nottingham Forest victory over Sunderland. At Sunderland.
yeah,
It's strange. It's an outlier. No one has gone to what I'm calling the Stadium of Lights this season and scored more than 2 goals. Not the big mad Man City, not Arsenal. How is it that Forest went to the Stadium of Lights and scored 5 goals?
All right, so look at Forest. I don't know when the new coach came in, but look at Forest. I'm gonna go all the way back to the 2-1 loss. They lost to Brighton, right? And this is Forest running from then, and I don't remember the date that was, but after that they drew with Man City at the Etihad 2-2.
Yeah, they scored a goal late.
They
Yeah.
lost to Midtjylland 1-0 at home in the Europa League knockout first leg. They drew with Fulham. Then they came back and beat Midtjylland 2-1 on penalties. Then the butter bruised Tottenham 3-0. Draw with Porto 1-1. Draw with Aston Villa, who is looking for Champions League 1-1. Beat Porto 1-0 to qualify in the Europa to go further. Beat Sunderland beat Burnley 4-1 and turn around and beat Sunderland 5-0. Now in the small subset, you say, yeah, you never expect that. But looking at the track record, looking at the run of results, Nottingham Forest hit a lick of purple patch. That coach, and that's what we talked about earlier, just simplifying football. Just simplify the game. Just go out there, play to your strengths, bomb down the wings, take over the midfield, cross the ball consistently, and score goals. Simple. It's that simple. And play together. And they are a team that is benefiting from European games, those extra games. They are benefiting from that lift in Europa. They are benefiting from it. I don't think they're getting tired. They are benefiting from these games. And they are now finding a way to separate themselves. And now you have a all English semi-finals. Nottingham Forest versus Aston Villa in a Europa League. It was crazy. So they are separating themselves. That's why I don't think that 5-Love is smoke and mirrors. I think that's real. I really think that's real.
All right, when you put it that way, it seems like it. But quite an impressive victory. And Victor Pereira started at Nottingham Forest on February 15th, 2026. Was at Wolves. Now he's, relegation coach, looking to keep this team up. Other Premier League results, Junior, as I said, West Ham won, Tottenham won. The Tottenham victory felt like a momentum kicker, did it?
Do you see how they react as well?
Yes.
They actually like
Yeah.
they won.
I
the
mean,
Premier
it
League
felt like
title.
they felt like they find a sense of relief.
When in actuality, you know what they probably won when we look back at it? They won the relegation trophy as the best relegated team. That could be what they want. Because you just beat a team that you just beat the worst team in the Premier League by a lowly 1-0 when you yourself fighting relegation. In the 82nd minute goal, a late goal by Paul Linia. So it's a testament to the times that we're living in for Tottenham. It's a testament to the times.
Call it, Junior. Tottenham in 34 points in 18th position. West Ham on 36 points in 17th position. Forest 16th position on 39 points. I guess we might say Forest safe.
3 games left.
Call it. What you got?
I tell you, I just feel like West Ham is going to drop the soap somewhere. And when you look at the schedule, it is either they're going to drop the soap somewhere or they're going to have a momentous win somewhere. Because there are 4 games left. They travel to Brentford, they host Arsenal, they travel to Newcastle, and they host Leeds. That's their 4 games. While Tottenham, they have 3 games left, and Tottenham
has 4 games remaining.
No, 3.
I got Aston Villa, Leeds,
and
Chelsea,
Everton.
and
the Chelsea game. Wait, I thought
the Chelsea.
The Chelsea game is a replay. Sorry. Not a replay, a reschedule.
It's a rescheduled game. Yes.
Yeah.
From
So
this
they have 4 games left. Tottenham have the tougher schedule.
So Tottenham travels to Aston Villa on Sunday, which I don't know which Aston Villa are going to show up, because Aston Villa is another team. It's just a mess. They host Leeds on May 11th. They travel to Chelsea on May. Well, it can't. This game cannot be May 17th. It says May 17th here, but it cannot be because Chelsea is in the FA Cup final on May 16th. So I don't know when this Chelsea game will go play. And Tottenham wraps up the league hosting Everton on May 24th.
And they are chasing West Ham. West Ham have 2 points on them. So they need West Ham to lose, and Tottenham need to win out.
I don't want to salt up West Ham, but also I kind of feel like Tottenham. There's some teams that just get relegated just for good measure. Sometimes in a life you need to fall down. You remember as a youth, them say sometimes you drop, you trip up yourself, you learn, you grow. All right, and you then get up back and what. Tottenham has been flirting around this relegation and bad football for the last couple of years. Relegate them now. And I don't know whether the Tottenham fans probably going to come at me, but it's been piss poor. Ja Palinia's goal yesterday saved them. Let's see what happens. I mean, I didn't see any major changes from De Zerbi, whether it was at the Brighton game or whether it was the game yesterday against Wolves. But coincidentally, I saw something strange from West Ham. West Ham took the lead against Everton yesterday, then surrendered the lead in late in the game, like 84th minute or 80 something minute. And West Ham says, you know what? We're not going to lose this game. And subsequently won the game in added time in 93rd minute or something like that. And that is quite unusual for this season's West Ham. Rewind the clock 4 or 5 weeks ago, West Ham is not taking those 3 points. So,
Yeah.
so maybe Nuno has the pulse of his unit as they go running to the final. But two teams, one place in this English Premier League relegation. Any thoughts on the standing, family? Anything? We saw Liverpool defeated Crystal Palace 3-1. Isaac and Florian Wirtz on the scorer sheet. The victory moves Liverpool into the 4th position after Aston Villa dropped the soap against Fulham, Junior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot to play for. Brighton still has an outside chance to get into the top 5, but I think that's basically done. We can close that out. There's so much to play for though in that middle of the pack for the Europa spot.
Yeah.
That 6th position goes straight to Europa, and for all the teams that are vying for 6, that is within 1 win. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams within 1 win of 6th spot. So that's how tight it is right there. So there's a lot to play for, a lot of games. I know what else I think might be affecting the way the games are turning out is the World Cup and being so close to the World Cup. And players now have to make a business decision sometime. Are they going to go as hard, yes, sir? Is it worth it? And those things might affect the outcomes of the game. So a lot of things riding on these games.
Speaking of Liverpool, Alexander Isak scored. Florian Wirtz scored, so that's good sign for Liverpool. 2 of the big guns, big signings, big transfers were on the scoring sheet along with Andy Robertson. Andy Roberts, a general for this Liverpool success. 2 things from that Liverpool game before we pivot. The Liverpool fans held up a yellow card or caution sign to the club in protest at about minute 14 in the game, protesting potential increase in ticket prices, Junior. Liverpool fans pissed off, angry, miserable about season tickets or tickets increasing next year Premier League. Junior,
we see a lot of teams have been affected by this, and they all seem to have one thing in common: American owners. And I am all for free market, but
I am not all for no free market. Got no market, no free.
The market, you have to know. You have to know the pulse of the area. You have to know when you buy into a product. You have to know what makes the product that valuable. And the only thing that makes these Premier League teams this valuable is the fans in the stands. That's what drives the games. So you're not going to have NFL money or Super Bowl ticket prices. Stop doing that. You have other ways to bring in cash. Or if you can't live without it, then don't buy into the league. Go away. Go pick up a basketball team or something, man.
Another thing for Liverpool, Mohamed Salah left the game. What appeared to be a potential hamstring injury, Junior. A round of applause. He applauded the fans, and the fans also returned the favor. Junior, that might be it for Mohamed Salah.
Yeah, that's it. It is it for him.
For Mohamed Salah. And we have to do a Mohamed Salah tribute at the end of the season if this is it, Junior.
Yeah.
Junior's like you're on your own on that one.
Yeah. I'm not. What did you say, Currently Ambrose said? Nah, dry you out?
You're not driving out. Alright, final thing on the Liverpool game. There was a bit of controversy. That game. Muno's goal for Crystal Palace. Liverpool's goalkeeper, Woodman, was down. Referee did not blow. Munoz took the opportunity to place the ball perfectly in the goal from outside the 18-yard box. Liverpool fans and players were upset about the goal. One fan was so upset that he ended up hitting Munoz with a football when he went over to take a throw. Junior, that fan's supposed to get beaten with bell. Bug of the week.
Yeah.
And what is this? Don't we know the rules of the game? Yes, it's sportsman-like. You would like them to kick out the ball. But until the referee stop the play, you play on.
Yeah. Just play the whistle.
Play the whistle.
But there's too much sometimes we have assumptions in from these players. They're assuming they're going to get a whistle. They're assuming play the whistle, man. Now, depending on what side of the coin you look at, you might feel slighted if you're a Liverpool fan. But then other fans just be like, yo, you don't win the game already. Move on.
Yeah, move on. All right. Just all right, so that's it for our EPL roundup relegation battle. We'll continue to cover the relegation battle and the title race. The top four in the EPL: Arsenal 73 points, a game ahead, one more game than Man City played, one more game than Man City. Man City's on 70 points. Man United will play tomorrow. They're sitting in third. They'll play Brentford. Manchester United looking to secure up that third spot. Liverpool is now level with Manchester United on 58 points. And Junior, Aston Villa, bad form continues in the league on 58 points. Yeah. All right, let's get through some of the comments there, Junior. BM said Tottenham to get relegated. Man City to win the league. Again. Errol says just the look alone from Junior. Just the look alone. Coach Junior with the look alone. All right, continue our sports roundup, football news roundup, family. Let's step over to La Liga quickly. We're pushing up against the clock. La Liga looks to be set. Junior Football Club Barcelona is almost there to win this thing. As they won, BM highlighted that earlier. Barcelona defeated what was it, Elche this weekend. I'll get the schedule up here in a second. Football Club Barcelona defeated. Oh, I'm still not seeing this. Yeah, Getafe. Barcelona defeated Getafe 2-0. Real Madrid dropped points again, 1-1. With Real Betis. The thing is that Football Club Barcelona leading Real Madrid by 11 points in the league. I want to point out, though, in the relegation battle, Junior is perennial European champs Sevilla.
Wait, 11 points? Yeah.
What, the 11 points, what, Real Madrid, Barca?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the title done, man. I mean, as you know, the title done.
Over.
Yeah, it's just what Real Madrid will do now in the offseason, the big question.
No, but this almost feels like right before they hired Zidane. You remember that? Let me pull up that season before they hired Zidane. I think Madrid had like a same kind of gap, from, if memory serves me correctly. There was a year when Madrid had this big gap between them and Barcelona, and then they had the big coaching change. It wasn't Jose out, or maybe it was Jose out. It was Jose to Zidane, right?
I thought Zidane took some apprentice. He was on Carlos' staff at one time because and those things sometimes get underappreciated. I think because he was part of Carlos' staff when Carlo was the coach there. Um, and I think that's how he cut his teeth to then eventually taking over the job. I think he did replace Carlo Angelotti.
So Carlo replaced Jose. I don't even go back to Manuel Pellegrini.
Yeah.
So you had Jose from 2010 to 2013. Carlo took over from June 2013 to May 2015. Then Rafa did the Rafa Benitez year, or half a year. That was it. The Rafa Benitez, June 2015 to January 2016. And then Zidane took over
Okay.
from 2016 to 2018. Then Lopetegui took over, and from June to October. Then Solari went from October to March. And then Zidane came. So that's a period I was remembering. The Solari to Zidane. It kind of feels that way to me now. It feels that way to me that Madrid, because that year, Madrid only had one title, the FIFA Club World Cup. Because they won the Champions League the year before with Zidane. Then Zidane left. Lopetegui came in. Only coach of 14 games. Then Solari came in. They did nothing that year other than just win the FIFA Club World Cup, which is a foregone conclusion. Then the very next year, Zidane came back, won La Liga. He won a La Liga, won the Super Cup, Copa de España. He did that for over 2 years. Then Carlos reign came in, and then you have Xabi Alonso, and then Arbiola. It feels that way to me. It feels like that Solari to Zidane. No, rumor has it that Jose reportedly want the job back, and Perez reportedly is interested in giving it to Jose. That won't be the same kind of bump. I don't think Jose come in and become world beaters all over again. Unless him reinvent himself. Now, we saw Carlo Ancelotti reinvent himself. We saw Carlo Ancelotti went to Everton, left Everton, and got some booster energy and came to Real Madrid. Is Jose Mourinho going to do the same thing? I don't know. But this is a very important coaching change because I don't think Arbiola is going to is surviving the last day of the season.
I think if Jose Mourinho returns to Real Madrid, before I make a point about Jose and Real Madrid, sometimes, and this is the same thing I think about Arbiola and these coaches at Real Madrid elevate. It's not. Sometimes I underappreciate the value of a young coach serving as an assistant to a big coach. And I think Zinedine Zidane, when he served as an assistant to Carlo during that La Decima season, I think it was 2013-2014 year, along with Paul Clement, that helped Zidane to then be able to make a transition up as a coach. And I think Arbiola would have served him well if he served himself as an assistant to Don Carlo or another big manager. Now, and maybe this is the thing that they will do with Jose Mourinho. Bring him in and have the young coaches or one or two young managers as an assistant, that somebody they can elevate. And Jose Mourinho could be that sort of stabilizer. Chaotic as he is, he will bring just one voice to that locker room and one done sort of mentality to that locker room. Because right now, Real Madrid lacks that. They lack leadership from the dugout standpoint. The players them just do what they want to do. Them do what they want to do. And it's from Kylian Mbappe to Vinicius Jr. to Jude Bellingham to this, that, and the other. Every man thinks they are them a star. And I wouldn't be surprised Florentino Perez returns to Jose Mourinho. More out of desperation, more just saying that there is not a lot of high caliber managers out there who's readily that he can, with the level of experience that he can then rely on to come and said to Vinicius and and Kylian Mbappe, cut the pluckery. We are win trophies. You see me I say? But we know Jose Mourinho can do that.
So is this an opportunity for Jose's career to go full circle? Because remember, Jose Mourinho was quote unquote discovered, not discovered, but his reign started under the tutorage of Brian Robson and Louis van Gaal at Barcelona. Is this now his opportunity to now take a young Jose Mourinho and give him some tutorage? And is it, look, Florentino Perez is, I think Perez is one of the most pettiest men in the world. Is it crazy? Is it crazy to you? And I have to sit down and think, but let me sit down and really medge this thing before we say this. Because you're going to tell me, say, I'm tripping this, me attack. Is it crazy for Florentino Perez to pick up the phone and call Cesc Fabregas, who is a former Barcelona youth, grew up under Barcelona, and say, get ready for the Real Madrid job? While bringing in Jose and tell Jose, say, yo, a year or two, but assess where it is. So Cesc, go and cut your teeth, but no in a couple years. Can you say it, there's no coach out there with the pedigree to give the reins of the Real Madrid job. And if they were to give it to Cesc Fabregas right now, this is Xabi Alonso 2.0. So is it now time to say, Cesc, 2 more years, get some more time under your belt, probably go to a different team, but no Real Madrid. Jose is a 3-year coach. No, sir, Real Madrid is your calling 3 years from now. Is that outside the realm of possibility? Is that too crazy of a thought?
It's not too crazy of a thought. All right, as petty as Florentino Perez is, and all these little things, I've read a lot about him and watched documentaries on him. Now, I mean, the bottom line, he wants to win. And he's not married to certain positions, from my understanding, he's married to winning trophies. And this is why they have won, 15 Champions League trophies. And a large percentage of those a significant amount of those came during his tenure as president of the club. Now, granted, he's getting old and all these things, but the only thing is that I definitely think Football Club Barcelona has an interest in Cesc Fabregas. And I think that even if Florentino Perez does have an interest with him, I think his heart and his home is at Football Club Barcelona. It's almost at the situation like a Xavi Hernandez, where it's, Cesc Fabregas will return to Football Club Barcelona. So I don't see him taking a Real Madrid job. And maybe this is just hopeful, but I don't see him taking a Real Madrid job. I see Florentino Perez either getting his generals ready, because there are young coaches up there. There's a coach in Argentina who used to coach River Plate that was high on their list also. Mauricio Pochettino apparently is in the conversation, but I just don't think he's good enough for this job. So whosoever is that young Real Madrid sort of mentality coach that comes in, whether it's Arbiola remains a part of Jose Mourinho's staff, because there's something there that they saw in Arbiola, potentially, why they have him doing what he does. And there are other coaches out there that that's part of that Real Madrid football tree that then they will have under Jose to say, all right, Jose, you do your 1 or 2 years, you piss off a couple people if you can win a trophy, but then go on a yard, the next man come in.
Yeah.
But I don't see Cesc Fabregas ending up there. No, I rather see Cesc ending up at Football Club Barcelona. And with what's going on with Barcelona with Hansi Flick, because he's gonna win La Liga all he wants, but at bottom line is that Barcelona still have not won a Champions League in years, and they have take out significant amount of debt to try to win Champions League. And maybe Cesc Fabregas is the next thing that they go through, the next player, next former player, coach that they go to try to resurrect the Barca DNA and the Barca philosophy. Because what Hansi Flick is doing is not happening. No, I don't see Cesc going to Real Madrid. Don't see, but I definitely see Jose Mourinho returning there. But this might be a little bit. This might be also too big of a job for him now at this stage.
Yeah. BM said, confirming Ancelotti came in after Mourinho, asking, do you think Madrid or Barcelona will buy Mason Greenwood? No. I don't see Fabregas coaching Real Madrid. Nah.
No, Mason Greenwood, no. Mason Greenwood do have to float pan the right wing. Him can't go down the middle. Can't go down the middle pan none of them teams there. Because it's the same problem them have right now Real Madrid. And down the right wing lock off of Barcelona and the right wing lock off of Real Madrid.
Yeah, and not only that, he's just not Barca. He's not. No. He's just not. No. He just don't have the profile of a Barca and a Real Madrid.
You know, I'll say this. Junior, Barcelona signed Marcus Rashford. So I don't even know anymore.
They signed him on loan and they're sending him back.
Yeah. So I wouldn't see this happening in years. Barcelona signed kick and run it down Rafinha from Leeds. So I don't know. You know what?
But Rafinha and Marcus Rashford to me is like Alexis Sanchez. It's like David Villa.
Nah, man. That's an insult, right, as a junior. David Villa. Nah, man. That man, they are baller. Alexis Sanchez, that man, they are baller, man. Marcus Rashford and Rafinha kick and running down people, them, man. Okay. Alexis Sanchez? Chilean Alexis Sanchez?
Yes, no. BM says, what about Guardiola returning to Barcelona? No.
I think the politics of the club, I give him a vibe.
Plus, reportedly, he's interested in the Italy job.
Reportedly, he should be interested in the Reggae Boys. There you go, Pep Guardiola. How about you take a side and elevate it from the gutter? El Gueje. The nickname the kid. David, Junior, bug of the week for you for just classify David Villa and Alexis Sanchez in the same breath, same vein as Marcus Rashford and Alexis and Rafinha. I give you a chance to explain yourself, family.
I stand by my comments.
I must Manchester United Alexis Sanchez you talk about. Yo, Alexis Sanchez, what a player. David Villa, what a player. Wow. Barcelona really signed English players, but Rashford doing very well for them. Yeah, I do well in the BM says now the kick and run it down system with Hansi Flick run over there. I trap meet them around. Can't defend them, can't possess ball late in game. I trap meet them around. Alright, Real Madrid Junior, but we'll see what's the space. But I didn't get your thoughts on Sevilla, Joe Junior. On the verge of relegation. Sevilla conceded a goal in the 99th minute. Your brethren Neil Mape should have kicked somebody in the face.
And with that being said, it happens in La Liga every so often. You have a team, because what they call them, and a yellow submarine. What they call themselves?
What?
What they call themselves? Sevilla. What they call themselves?
Sevilla?
Yeah, I know Yellow Submarine. That's
No,
Sevilla.
Yellow Submarine,
Sevilla.
Villarreal.
Or Villarreal, yeah.
Yeah,
But
Villarreal, yeah, talk about.
no. I'm just saying every so often. So you have like a Deportivo La Coruña, a team that have this good long run in La Liga, and then all of a sudden the bottom just fall out and then just drop gone out of nowhere. Sevilla is in that realm too, because Sevilla for years always had one and two nice little baller. So always have a good Europa Cup running at them, and always just there, right? And then time just catch up with them. It's stagnation. You can't go up any further. So eventually the bottom just fall out.
You know, I'm gonna make a bold prediction here. You see, Unai Emery.
Mm.
If Unai Emery, if Sevilla stays up and Unai Emery has enough at Aston Villa, he will be back at Sevilla. They will try to rekindle that golden years when Rakitic at the San Pizjuan, that's famous stadium. He will be back at Sevilla if this Aston Villa thing don't work out, because it look like it might be coming to an end over Aston Villa, because Aston Villa, I wouldn't be surprised if Unai Emery moves on from Aston Villa.
But why would he leave halfway through the project? This is a project that he fathered. He is the father of this project
Yeah,
of rebuilding the Aston Villa brand and Aston Villa team. Remember, we started the season saying Aston Villa was a candidate for relegation based on their transfer activity.
yeah,
So we can't really go back now and be mad at them for their running in games. I thought they were going to get relegated. I think I picked them for relegation or close to relegation. And they overplayed or overshot their skis. So why would Unai Emery leave? I don't think I think they are on their way to becoming a proper club. Now they have to make the right decisions. They sacrificed and made some signings, some loan moves of big name players with low contracts or low obligation, because they were trying to get within compliance of financial rules. I think they are good now, or they're on their way out. They just have to make the right decisions. And can their scouting department make the right decisions? That's the key. So I don't think Unai Emery would leave now after him go through what should be the worst of this team. They had Jadon Sancho and they had Rashford
yeah,
year after each
and
year.
Marcos Asensio.
Asensio, all of these players. They had Leon Bailey,
Yeah,
with them said go Roman off a carry back.
yeah.
Yeah, so why would he go through all those turmoil just to leave at the opportunity when them can start trekking up? I don't think so.
You see this Europa League semi-final against Aston Villa, against
Yeah,
Forest. If they get eliminated from the Europa League, if they don't win the Europa League title, I think Unai Emery will explore his options. And the reason why is because it's the lack of resources to invest in players at
yeah,
Aston Villa. Because he's been trying, he's taken, you can only take this club a certain, but so far they still has a certain budget limit, and he cannot make moves on certain players that he wanted. He had a player that was young and up and coming. He had to get rid of him in John Duran. Now John Duran probably a play ball a back road. I don't know where is he. But with that context though, with the loss of John Duran, he's stuck with Ollie Watkins, an old foot striker, and he's trying to win trophies.
who he wanted to move on at the start of the season.
Yeah, so I mean, so why would Unai Emery explore his options? Why would he move on when this is his project? I think my answer is that the project not have a whole heap of money, and he's very restricted in his ability to move players. Like Leon Bailey right now. Leon Bailey back at a club. What am I going to do with Leon Bailey? Leon Bailey's contract run to must say 2028. And when him contract run? He might go try a next loan move again. So, and he might go hope say, all right, Leon Bailey come play some good ball for them, and then them back to square one.
Yeah.
So I think, and then it's not unique to Bailey. You have Mondia, same thing. Remember, he wanted to get wanted to get rid of Emilio Bondia and
Martinez too.
Martinez, and Bondia said, "Boy, nah leave. I'm gonna stay and play for him." So, and BM says Duran, they're Russia. Odessa or Duran is in Turkey, is in Russia. A back road, him a play ball.
A back road, that's the definition of back road.
So Unai Emery, I think this Europa League game, this Europa League trophy, because we don't know Europa League is Emery's specialty. He has won it with both Sevilla and Villarreal. He's gonna be exploring his options. Alright, pushing away from that Junior, Wooly Pataki idea now. Champions League coming up in the middle of the week. Arsenal versus Atletico Madrid. And of course, Bayern versus PSG. Quickly, you just have to sit down and watch the ball games. I think
You just have to sit down and watch a ball game. Both games. I said one going to be a boat race, PSG versus Bayern Munich. They can score probably 7 goals both legs. It can be that open. And the Arsenal Atletico Madrid semi-final is going to be a staring match to see who can blink before the paint dry. I would just watch a ride. And there's no clear-cut favorite in either semi-final. However, I think common notion is the winner of PSG versus Bayern Munich winning the Champions League. That's common notion.
Yeah.
But I said it before and I'm going to say it again. I'm carrying Atletico Madrid. This is Atletico Madrid's year.
I think the simple question we always ask here, if not no, when? And the same thing applies to Atletico Madrid and Cholo. If not no, when? PSG versus Bayern Munich, Tuesday, April 28th at 3 p.m. First leg. Atletico Madrid versus Arsenal, Wednesday, the 29th at 3 p.m. The flip, the second leg the following week. Second leg, Arsenal, Atletico Madrid will be on Tuesday, and Bayern, PSG on Wednesday. Yeah, all these things about Atletico Madrid and Cholo winning, it would be nice to see Vincent Kompany win the Champions League as a manager at Bayern Munich when he was so Shandash. Would love to see that. Things that I would love to see.
Enough said. You don't have to say nothing more.
Before we go to Jamaican football report, one announcement coming from FIFA. FIFA Junior, FIFA spokesman. Let's get this brother name. FIFA in a press association releases ahead of the FIFA Council meeting on the 28th of April 2026, which is Tuesday this week. FIFA is in discussion with associations or the members of the General Assembly or the FIFA Assembly to increase the World Cup prize money and also increase the development fund that is given to the 211 member associations. And this is in line because members have complained about the significant cost of the 2026 World Cup. The European teams under the European Federation have said that they don't see a way that they're going to make profit with these costs that are associated with this World Cup. FIFA said, don't worry, we're going to increase the prize money, pending the General Assembly vote on Tuesday, Junior.
And that is the definition of money laundering. I mean, I can't say it any other way. FIFA is giving themselves back money. I mean, nothing else to say. We're gonna raise the payout for winners and give out money for development, you're paying yourself. You're paying yourself. JFF is a FIFA body. So no. You want if FIFA want to save the public some money, then to chop off some of the ticket price. If you are going to give, let's say $1 million total, right? I used to go say, well, no, we're giving $1 million extra. I am giving away $1 million extra, right? I would say, well, all right, so take that $1 million and divide it out of the tickets. Then I'll take that out of the tickets. Don't want to pay the federation any more money. Take it out the tickets.
In
Why you don't do that?
in the press release, it says, quote, ahead of FIFA Council meeting in Vancouver on April 28th, FIFA can confirm it is in discussions with associations around the world to increase available revenues. This includes a proposed increase of financial contributions to all qualified teams for the FIFA 2026 World Cup and of development funding available to all 211 members association. FIFA World Cup 2026 will be groundbreaking in terms of its financial contribution to the global football community, and FIFA is proud to be in its strongest ever financial position to benefit the global game through its FIFA Forward program. Subject to discussions, further details will be provided in due course. End quote. FIFA approved record price of $727 million last December to be split between 48 finalists, including a $50 million payout for the winning team. European associations have complained heavily about the cost of this World Cup and how it's such a significant cost relative to the Qatar World Cup, Junior. JFS supposed to get a bag. Football, Jamaica football report, more money loaded. And Uno Ricketts resign? I joke. Mike Ricketts resign and more money I load up. I don't want Speed to take on himself. I joke. Some more money will be available for all, providing that it passed the General Council meeting on Tuesday. FIFA General Council meeting on Tuesday. More money will be available for members association, all 211 members, if it's as proposed, Junior. This could be beneficial for JFF, Junior, Jamaica football.
Yes, it could be beneficial for the JFF to have more money to decide what they're going to do with it.
BM asks a question, says, do you know how much money each federation gets from FIFA? I saw that, and
we went over the numbers for the Women's World Cup. We talk about that because we were talking about the importance of the Brazil versus Jamaica game, and if Jamaica make it to the second round, how much more money it incrementally they get. So we discussed it before, but at the end of the day, FIFA is giving themselves money. That's it. They're giving themselves money. Oh, we're giving it back to the federation. It's your federation, sir.
Yeah, but buy votes.
Yeah, so we sit down and actively celebrated money laundering, and that's what FIFA expects.
All right,
want you guys to celebrate that we're doing this.
All right, so a bit of update from 2023 to 2026, and this is from inside FIFA. This is from FIFA's site. So from 2023 to 2026, you under the FIFA Forward 3.0 program, FIFA provides each of its 211 members association $5 million over 4 years for operational costs and specific projects. Additionally, each of the 6 confederations receive USD $5 million per year to support football activities and development projects. Member association individual countries up to $1.2 million annually for operational and projects, plus $300,000 for travel and equipment for those in need. Yep. So that's the breakdown from FIFA. FIFA inside FIFA. So that's the funding cycle up to 2026. Junior, go ahead.
They're recycling their own money. Whatever, man. BM says, also remember Adidas will renew the contract with the JFF. Nobody is leaving anytime soon. And he said the grants from FIFA are just vote buying. FIFA could care less about football development, especially in countries like Jamaica. 100%. I agree 100%.
Gosh. All right, let's go over to the Oddballers report. But all right. But also equally as important, something that will be discussed at the General Assembly, Junior, is the situation with Iran and who will replace Iran, providing that they're not at the World Cup. So let's see.
The Iran spokesperson come out and say, basically, it would be a joy for them to represent at the World Cup or something like that. It will be, I don't remember the word, but it's almost like saying it's a patriotic move by the Iran footballers. So they're going to the World Cup.
Okay. BM says, with all that money and JFF always broke.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of which, the interview, and if you haven't already, listen to that My Cricket's interview on RFM. What's the score? I think it was last week, Monday, where My Cricket says he has a document in his car that he was gonna send to Robert Williams, the host of the show, that demonstrate that indicate or illustrate the amount of money they have paid to the St. Anne's FA. So he says he has a document in his car. So I wish I could get the document. So maybe we need to send an email, see if we can get it. All right, now to Jamaican Premier League, mad dash to the end. Games concluded. Mercy. Chapelton, Butterbruce Police, Spanish Town Police, 6-2. I think this is it, Junior. I think we can stick a fork in the squaddy. Them gone.
I'm not a long time.
Them gone. Chapelton defeated Spanish Town 6-2. Harbour View, much needed victory over Montego Bay United 4-3. Portmore and Arnett. Huh?
Yeah, 2 red cards. Portmore had 2 red cards. Arnett Gardens had 1.
But that's a huge victory for Arnett Gardens. And we'll look at the standing here in a second. That's huge. Treasure Beach 1-0 over Dunby Holden. Cavalier leading Racing 2-0. Of course, Cavalier holding on to that final 6th place in the standing. Let's look at the Jamaican Premier League standing, family. Yep, Cavalier holding on to that final Premier League standing playoff spot, Junior.
Yeah.
I guess this Racing Cavalier game, Arnett Gardens was hoping for Racing to defeat Cavalier. I guess not gonna happen.
No. So Cavalier going leapfrog Racing now at the end.
No, they won't. I think it's.
Oh no, the live table. Oh, I'm looking at live table. The live. Okay.
Harbour View Junior is in the relegation zone. We can call Spanish Town Police relegated, but the Stars of the East, Harbour View, in the relegation zone. I guess Lenward Teacher Hyde didn't write the ship properly, Junior.
Mullines and Treasure Beach have a game in hand, which is key.
Why are you like this? Why you have to point out that?
No, because it shows how dire Harbour View straight, how dire their straights are. Because right now Mullines and Treasure Beach can lose a game, and Harbour View is still in the relegation zone. Well, yeah, because look at Mullines' goal difference versus Harbour View.
Yeah.
Good God Almighty. Negative 20?
Yeah, have a view in a spot of bother.
Hold on. But Spanish Town Police have negative 76 goal. Me mama.
Yeah, they were not ready, Junior. They were not ready. Big up to Woolry Wolf over there as a new coach. Imagine you take a job over Scottish Town Police right now, Woolry. I mean, Wolf. I mean, you just are prepared for whatever may comes, which is the second division.
Well, we don't even know if he's still going to be there next year. But as the season wind down, though, like you said, Arnett Gardens was hoping for some help from racing, but that help is not forthcoming. So,
And 3
yeah.
games remaining in the season. So 3 games including today. So 2 games after today.
So then, what for watch Mount? Well, I for watch Mount Pleasant and Portmore, because Portmore is still within a shout of the automatic qualification part, right?
Yes. That number 2 spot, that first round bye, right?
Right. But then they're trailing by a win, and Mount Pleasant have a game in hand. So you know what? It's already sealed up here, man.
But
Let me see if any of these teams play against Spanish Town Police, them have a chance over the next
yeah,
three.
so I think more Pleasant play Spanish Town Police.
Yeah, man, it done.
I think more Pleasant. In fact, I think I have. Let me find the schedule here of the teams in the relegation battle. In fact, I can just pull it up right here. No, so yeah, they don't. So the Spanish Town Police has 2 more games. They play Arnett and they play Racing United. So they don't play Mount Pleasant. So May 5th and May 6th, they round out their 2 games. So yeah, Spanish Town Police. So Arnett will be definitely looking to try to get those 3 points, because it still have a little bit of hope to get back to get that final playoff spot.
Yeah.
And as for Harborview will play Molynes, and they round out their season against Cavalier Junior. This Harborview versus Molynes game on the 5th of May.
That's watch along worthy.
That is watch along worthy game. That is watch along worthy. But where are we gonna watch it, Junior? If Pivot locked down the stream.
Yeah.
This is Much Watch TV. When is the 5th of May?
Tuesday.
That's Sunday.
Tuesday.
The 5th of May? Is that Tuesday? Is that Sunday?
No, 5th of May is next Tuesday, sir.
Whoa. Okay.
Tuesday night game.
How can I hold that game if it happen upon a week, in the middle of a week, Bridget?
That's the midweek game, and that's prime time.
Looking at the other, so Harborview has Molynes and Cavalier. So I think Arnett Gardens goose cooked right or so, because Cavalier is gonna get those 3 points. And Molynes has 3 games in hand. Molynes has Tivoli tomorrow. They play Tivoli tomorrow. They face Harborview, and they round out the season against Treasure Bridge. Tivoli doesn't have anything to play for.
Nope.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Molynes beat them tomorrow.
Yep, me too.
Yo, Molynes, walk with a money ground, son.
Hey, give yourself a chance.
Give yourself a chance. Well, all right, and then for the final playoff spot, top 6 go through. 3 to 6 will play off for 1 to 2. 1 and 2 will have a bye. first round bye. Cavalier has Tivoli, and they run out the season against Harborview. And again, Tivoli have nothing to play for.
Yeah.
And then Arnett Garden has Spanish Town Police, and they round out against Chaputancy. So Arnett Garden needs Cavalier to lose 2 games. Or lose 1 and drop points and draw 1. Right? Is that
You know, it's like, you know what I look fun?
yeah.
If Bullet have a chance.
Chance of what? they will stay up. They will survive. Yeah, man, them safe this year. One thing they can't start Bullet, them not get relegated this year.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. So that's the lay of the land in the Jamaican Men's Premier League. Let's look at the scores in the Jamaican Women's Premier League before we go my yard, family. And I want to big up the people running the Women's Premier League website because they're good with the scores. The website is updated and with the latest scores. So I have to give those who are running the Women's Premier League website credit because sometimes they go over Jamaican Premier League website, cha-cha. All right, so in the Jamaican Women's Premier League weekend action, Proven Girls defeated Cavalier 1-0. Real Mona defeated UWI 2-0. Real Mona looking good. Arnett 6 over Wi-Fi United. Los Perfectors 4-1 over Federal United. Real Mobile and Mile Gully drew 0-0. Springers pick up an 11-piece meal from Fraser's Whip, Junior.
Yeah.
And
so the Fraser's Whip Invitational continues.
Yes, that's Fraser's Whip. Fraser's Whip Invitational continue. Just reminding listeners, the lay of the land in the Jamaican Women's Premier League. I think there are 2 more rounds of games remaining, or 3 games remaining. Let me get this thing out. And so the playoff spot, top 2 teams will advance to the semi-final. And let me get this. Arnett and Cavalier leading Group B. Wi-Fi United and Real Mona make up the top 4. Of course, top 2 teams.
Yep.
And over in Group. So Arnett Gardens on 22
points.
22 points. And Cavalier. So it's pretty much Arnett and Cavalier out of Zone B. Zone A.
But Cavalier is 7 points behind. Them goose cook.
Yeah, and over in Zone B, Fraser's Whip and Los Perfectors leading that zone. So
Fraser's Whip have a plus 45 goal difference.
Yeah.
In 8 games.
Yeah, but Junior, check this out though. We don't see any team in the Women's Premier League that has a minus 76 goal difference though.
True.
We don't see a team has a minus 76 goal difference. You're not ready to play a ball, Bridget. Yeah, right, that, It's that time for go where we had. Hopefully everyone enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Hey, smash the like button, family. Subscribe to the channel and big up on yourself. Check out all the YouTubers covering Jamaican football. Big up Cranky. Big up Cranky and Cranky Live on YouTube. MG Sports, YouTube, Elite Sports. Ryan, big up yourself. Who else? I think I missed some few. Talawa TV. Check out Talawa, Jamaican women's football. And big up Yardy Ball. Yardy Ball at Yardy Ball on Facebook for wall-to-wall coverage of Jamaican women football. Lads.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And definitely doing a good job with it. And also big up the Reggae Girls Foundation. I have nothing to do with them. You better have no financial ties with them, but I'm going to say it. I love what they are doing for the program. I want to big them up same way. So big up to all those who are responsible for keeping the Jamaican football news refreshed in the diaspora. That's what we also strive to do.
Yeah, man. Big up Reggae Girls Foundation. And BM says he gave a bug of the week earlier to Man City ladies. Khadija Bonishaw did score. Man City ladies suffered a 3-2 defeat against Brighton. But them still are going to win the league, BM. Them still are going to win the league. I just saw it go.
Yeah.
So you go. Amelia Van Zanten played last night for San Diego Wave in a 3-2 victory of Denver in the NWSL. She played right back. Did quite well. All right. That's enough. Time for go my way yard. Have a wonderful week, family. Wednesday again. We'll do halftime show. Hopefully, we'll have a decision on the FIFA money by then. We have more FIFA money coming in Wednesday, family. Look more.